I'm drawing a background for a character here, and this is just roughing in a lot of stuff in the non-photo blue pencil. Put in the trees and the clouds there and a ground plane, put some perspective lines on there, pieces of grass, and I'm gonna go over it in black pencil after I figure this out. Now this is a big thick 9B pencil I'm using, or an 8B, I'm sorry. And I'm just darkening in everything at this point, darkening in the outlines of all the stuff. This is so that we can set up a scene and put a character in here. And I just wanted to make sure that I had some kind of place for the character to stand that looked semi-believable, and doing a little bit of shading there to keep it all together. And then we'll start drawing the character after this. So we have the background here, and there was a time when the character would actually be sketched onto the background by the layout artist, who was responsible for making a background layout drawing for BG Paint, and he would draw a character in another color pencil on top of it, either blue, red, orange, whatever he wanted. As time went on, that started to be done by the layout guy on a separate sheet of paper, especially if there was more than one character working in the shot with more than one pose. So let's just create a character and say that he's standing here in the middle of the screen, practically. Well, let's put him over here. And say, here's his proportions. Could make his head a little bit bigger even. And say he's facing this way. Let's try a slightly different design style, kind of like what Ward Kimball would do. And we would say that would be drawing one. And let's say that the point of the scene is that he reacts to a sound to his right, screen left, and he's going to turn and look over at where the sound came from. And his legs are a little bit bent because now he's reacting and he's thinking, I got to get ready to move here. Something's about to happen. His hands come up like this. The other one's up like that. And you notice I started with stick figures and I'm filling in I'm not sharpening the pencil, I'm keeping it kind of blunt so I don't get too hung up on details. So here's our layout poses. Looks like I made his head a little bit bigger here than it was here, just a little bit. I could just enlarge his head a little bit. Yeah. So there's his action turns. And he then needs to run out of seam. And what we could do is have him run out really fast this way and have this leg lag behind, this leg go up like this, put a curve there, and then you have to decide, do we want his head to be looking back at the danger, or do we want his head to be looking at where he's going, but his eyes looking back? It might be scarier if his eyes are looking back. Get the nose up there and now we can have his arms stretched out because he wants to get away. And I made his head too big in that third drawing, so let's go over it with the blue pencil first and bring it back like here, and his ear would then come in here. And just to have a little reminder about that, let's go over it with a slightly darker blue pencil, which is not showing up. Let's take an HB pencil and go over it like this. Yeah. And this is 2, 3, and then 4 would have him, you might
just jump him out really fast and stretch his leg way over like this. His leg is pulling his body out. Like that. And you can be as rough as you want because you're animating this, so his head is still lagging a little bit. Arms stretched out. This arm going out. His head is turning now. Eyes still looking back. Maybe this foot is not showing the sole, but just we're seeing the top of his foot. And this is 4. And then the last drawing layout would be his foot is here and going out of scene. And that's 5, right? Yeah. And that would be what layout does these days. So it would start with 1, 2, react, 3, running, starting to run, 4, stretching to get out, and 5, out. And then you would write 2 OS, meaning off screen. And that would be what layout would do. So next episode we will do the animation for this. We'll do sheets and do the animation. In the meantime, keep drawing.